Hello everyone, and welcome to a new lesson. And today we're going to talk about the third type of past tenses, past perfect tense. So today I'm going to explain you when to use past perfect tense, and I will show you how to form an affirmative sentence, a negative sentence, and a question. Let's start. So we use past perfect tense when we're talking about the actions that were completed before some point in the past. Or as well, it is used when we want to point out that one action had happened earlier than the other one in the past. So we've got two actions and one happened before than the other one. So to form past perfect tense, we need the verb to have in the past, which will be its form had plus past participle. Talking about past participle, we need to bear in mind that English language has regular verbs and irregular verbs. With regular verb situations, it's quite easy because we only need to take the verb group and add the ending ed. And with the regular verbs, the situation is a bit more complicated because we need to learn them by heart. But don't worry, at the end of this video, you've got a list with some irregular verbs that you can learn them. So if we want to form an affirmative sentence in past perfect tense, we need to put subject first, then verb had, and then past participle. Now let's have a look at two examples. In one example, we will use the regular verb to use, and in the other one, we will use the irregular verb to go. Let's have a look. I had used, he had used, she had used, it had used, it had used, we had used, you had used, and they had used. Let's look at the other example with the irregular verb to go. As you can see, the past participle of the verb to go is gone. Repeat after me. I had gone, he had gone, she had gone, it had gone, we had gone, you had gone, and they had gone. Let's move on and let's have a look at some examples. Example number 1. Children had watched their favorite movie when I got home. Children had watched their favorite movie when I got home. Here we use the past perfect tense because we want to show that one action happened before the other one. So one action was completed before than the other. So when I got home, children already finished to watch their movie. Number 2. When Carl got home, he realized that he had lost his key. When Carl got home, he realized that he had lost his key. Again, here we use past perfect because we want to show that first he had lost the key and after that he got home and realized it. So the first action, had lost, happened before then he realized about it. Let's move on. The example number 3. When Alice phoned me, I had already written a letter. When Alice phoned me, I had already written a letter. When Alice phoned me, I had already written a letter. So here again, we want to show that I had written the letter first and then Alice phoned me. One action happened before the other one. Number 4. Before I turned 30, my hair had gone grey. Before I turned 30, my hair had gone grey. So here again, first my hair had gone grey and after that I had my 30th birthday. So the first action happened earlier than the other one. First my hair had gone grey and then I turned 30. Before I turned 30, my hair had gone grey. As we have seen before, to make an affirmative sentence in past perfect, we need to use subject first, had, and past participle. To make a negative sentence, we need to add the particle not between had and the action verb. Let's look at the example. I hadn't started, I hadn't started, he hadn't started, he hadn't started, she hadn't started, she hadn't started, it hadn't started yet, it hadn't started, we hadn't started, we hadn't started, you hadn't started, you hadn't started, and they hadn't started. They hadn't started. To make a question, we only need to move the verb had at the beginning of the sentence. So it will be had, subject, and the past participle. Let's try it together. Had I started? Had I started? Had he started? Had he started? Had she started? Had she started? Had it started? Had it started? Had we started? Had we started? Had you started? Had you started? Had they started? Had they started? Excellent, good job. Let's have some practice. And the first sentence we're going to practice with the regular verb to cook. They had cooked pancakes before I woke up. They had cooked pancakes before I woke up. So first they had cooked the pancakes and then I woke up. Let's make a negative sentence. They hadn't cooked pancakes before I woke up. They hadn't cooked pancakes before I woke up. What about the questions? Let's make a question. Had they cooked pancakes before I woke up? Had they cooked pancakes before I woke up? Excellent, good job. Let's move on. And this is our next sentence where we use the regular verb to go. He had already gone to bed when I phoned him. He had already gone to bed when I phoned him. Let's make a negative sentence. He hadn't gone to bed when I phoned him. He hadn't gone to bed when I phoned him. What about questions? Can I make a question? Excellent, good job. Had he gone to bed when I phoned him? Had he gone to bed when I phoned him? Excellent, good job. Let's move on. This is our last practice when we'll use the irregular verb to leave. I had left home before it started to rain. I had left home before it started to rain. Let's make a negative sentence. I hadn't left home before it started to rain. I hadn't left home before it started to rain. What about question? Can I make a question? Excellent, good job. Had I left home before it started to rain? Had I left home before it started to rain? Excellent. And here we've got our last part of mini dialogues when we are going to practice past perfect tense in mini dialogues. The dialogue number 1. First, I will read the whole dialogue and then we are going to do it together. Let's start. Hi everyone, let's start our meeting. Mike, did you bring the documents I had asked you last week? Oh yeah, I did. I had got them ready before you asked me. Excellent. So let's have a look at numbers. Now let's read it together. I'm going to read the blue part and you're going to read the green one. Let's start. Hi everyone, let's start our meeting. Mike, did you bring the documents I had asked you last week? Excellent! So let's have a look at numbers. Good job! Well done! Let's have a look at the second dialogue. Again, first I'm going to read the whole dialogue and then we'll do it together. Let's start. Hi Carrie, you won't believe what happened to me yesterday. Hi Christy, tell me. You know my granny was to arrive yesterday evening. I was so excited and wanted to go to the airport as soon as possible. When I ran out of my house, closed the door, I realized that I had forgotten my keys inside the house. So what did you do? Well, one of the windows was likely open, so I could get inside the house and picked up my keys. Were you late to the airport? When I arrived, I found out that my poor granny had thought that I had forgotten about her. Oh no, at least the story had a happy end. Good, now let's do it together. I'm going to read the blue part and you're going to read the green one. Hi Carrie, you won't believe what happened to me yesterday. You know, my granny was to arrive yesterday evening. I was so excited and wanted to go to the airport as soon as possible. When I ran out of my house, closed the door, I realized that I had forgotten my keys inside the house. Well, one of the windows was likely open, so I could get inside the house and pick up my keys. When I arrived, I found out that my poor granny had thought that I had forgotten about her. Excellent, good job! I hope this video was useful for you. And as I promised you before, here is the list with some irregular verbs that you can learn them by heart. This is the end of our lesson, and if you like the video, please click like. If you didn't like it, put dislike and put in the comments what topic you want us to talk about next time. See you next time. Bye bye for now.